with the Nashville Networking Business Luncheon. So we do these 7 times a month all over Middle Tennessee, the first 3 Thursdays and every Friday. Of course, right now, since the situation we are in, we are doing these live on Facebook and Zoom, and recorded still on YouTube like we always have. And hopefully very soon, it sounds like we are going to be able to get back in person and do them in person. So we always have a 10-minute speaker who talks to us about different tips, tricks, ideas, things that can help us both in our personal as well as our business life to help get us to that next level. And after that, we're going to go around the room and everyone will have 1 minute to give us your name, what you do for a living, and how we can better refer other people to you. After that, normally the food comes in. So if you're eating with us at home, you're welcome to do that. And we're going to eat and network, get to know each other a little bit. And then I'm going to show you a great video for 3 minutes about a great tool you can use in your personal as well as your business life. And then I'll just talk a little bit about that. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to introduce to you our speaker, Miss Haney. Please give her your attention.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's great to be with all of you again, not in person, but hey, isn't technology great? It's exciting. So I'm thankful for Zoom this morning, getting kind of used to this whole new concept here. So anyway, what I want to talk to you about today is a topic that I think we're all kind of in one of these 2 categories that we're finding ourselves in business, and that is recovery or readjustment. And so all businesses are going to fall in that right now, one of those 2 areas. You're either recovering in this situation with the COVID, or you're readjusting to the situation, because as you can see, this is why we're having the Zoom meetings. I'm really looking forward to being back with you all in person at the Nashville Networking Luncheons. However, we're going to do this and we're just going to go forward today. But today's talk is entitled Business Builder 2020, Compassion Before the Cure. And so you might even tagline it coming out of COVID, okay, if you want to tag it that. So, because we know that we're getting ready to open back up April 30th, you know, things are fixing to change again. And what's that going to look like for us, you know? So as businesses, we are coming out of that. How are we going to deal with people? What are we going to do? So I want to give you a couple scenarios, first of all, that I think you'll really relate to. So scenario number 1, okay, you've got a doctor's appointment. You're getting ready to go to the doctor. And you've got to walk in, you meet with your doctor, he comes in, you know, he spends maybe 5 minutes with you. He sits down briefly, but then he's up, he's doing your vitals, you know, checking you out. You're trying to tell him your symptoms and all this, but he's very quickly, you know, taking care of you, writes you a prescription, you know, he's in, he's out, and he says, well, no, if you don't improve, give me a call. Week later, you get the bill for $100, right? Maybe you have to pay it before you leave. Okay, you're done. See number 2. All right, we go for a second opinion, another doctor, another time. We get there and this doctor comes in, he sits down, 15 minutes, he converses with you, talks with you. He wants to know, hey, how was your summer? Did you have a great summer? How's your family? You start telling him about your summer vacation. You know, if you went on vacation, you tell him about your kids, you tell him about your dog. If you have a dog, you tell him all about your life. You tell him, you know, everything that involves you. He's engaging with you, he's talking with you. Then he says, okay, tell me what's going on with you. And so you begin to tell him about your symptoms. You begin to tell him, you know, what's happening, you know, what your symptoms are, what's, you know, changing in your life. So he begins to take your vitals as he's listening to what's going on with you. He writes your prescription, but in writing your prescription, he also tells you what he's writing that prescription for, what each prescription is going to do to actually help you. And so when you walk out, he tells you, he says, be sure and stop at the front desk and schedule a follow-up visit. All right, a week later, then you get the bill for $100, or again, you may pay it when you leave. Which doctor is going to get your return business? Which doctor is going to get your referral? Okay, and the question is very obvious. The answer is very obvious, and that is the doctor that spent the time with you. Okay, so compassion before the cure, and that's why we have this title today, because people want to know that you care. And especially coming out of what we're in today, I believe there's so much going on and so much different mixed emotions that people are going to be feeling. There's so many different things that are going on in their lives. There may be fear, with many. There may be underlying issues going on financially. There's going to be a lot happening in their lives. So building your business is going to have to take a little bit of readjustment and a little bit of different direction. So there's three different things I want to talk about. Number one, listen to what's being said and what's not being said, okay? Because people may not tell you everything that's going on with them, okay? They may just tell you, the top line. They may not tell you, but they're, scared, or, this is happening or that's happening. So start listening to the underlying issues. When they say something like, I just really don't need to do that right now. Okay, what constitutes the right now? What does that mean? Could that be a time issue? Is the right now mean that they're too busy? Or does it mean that, maybe financially they can't do it right now? You need to listen to what's not being said there. So start asking questions. It's important to understand what the right now would be. So listen to what's not being said in that. And so this is where number two comes in. He who asks the question has a power to change the outcome, okay? Now notice in this situation with the doctor, they asked the questions, okay? That doctor was not only asking questions to, make himself show compassion, but he was also gaining information from the client or from the patient. He was trying to find out what's going on in their life. Are they under a great deal of stress, okay? Were they needing to de-stress? He could tell a lot by asking them questions. So ask your client questions because you have the power to change the outcome. Now, this can be for employees. This can be for employers. We need to learn to be in control by asking questions because we can change the outcome when we ask questions. So learn about the person, learn about the family, learn about the situation. Again, is it economic? Is it financial? Is it time restraints? Things like that. Number three, client care will produce healthy businesses, okay? We have to have client care. So that's very, very important. This can mean things like extra patience, all right? Sometimes it takes a little extra patience. Things are not always easy. It might mean, for instance, that you might have to take an extra 10, 15 minutes out of your schedule. I had a situation the other day where I went somewhere, I took an hour and a half to get there. When I got there, they weren't readily available, even though they knew I was coming, and they did not tell me they were going to be unavailable a certain period of time. When I got there, they weren't available. They said, well, it's going to be another 10 to 15 minutes. So what did it mean for me? Extra patience. That extra patience paid off because I could have, said, well, you didn't tell me this. I could have, got fussy about it. But that extra patience that I said, okay, I just took a little extra patience, and they were very receptive to me after that 10 to 15 minutes, and everything went very, very smoothly after that. So a little extra patience sometimes is what we need to do to have that client care. A little extra effort. Sometimes that means going the extra step. It might take one more step. We might have went one step, but we might need to make another step. It's not always easy sometimes. We might have done exactly what they needed us to do, but then they may say, well, you know what, I need this extra thing. If it means keeping a client for 10 years, you might need to make that extra step just to keep that client, to help them, be happy with you in your business. Because again, one negative word, from that client can really ruin business or lose that client for long term. And then finally, continued well checks, okay? We need to have continued well checks with our client. Follow-ups. How are things going? Ask them questions again. Ask them things like, are there any questions I can answer for you, okay? I had a situation not too long ago where I asked the store manager, I said, how are things going in your store? And he said, you tell me. And so it opened a door for me to actually answer that question and change the outcome of some things that needed to be done in that situation. So remember, as I said before, he who asks the questions has power to change the situation. So when I asked the question, how are things going? Is there any questions I can answer for you? And he said, you tell me. I was able to say, I said, things look pretty good in your store, but I did notice this one thing. I said, we have some claims that need to go back here, and this has been sitting back here since March, so we need to really get this moved on out. So it opened that door for me to get that pushed on through. So ask the questions, and you can solve many, many of the problems that you might have. So now, get a pen real quick, because these are really some good points I'm going to give you here. This is what I call the B12 booster for business, okay? So how many need an extra shot of energy and enthusiasm for your clients, okay? B12 boosters for business, all right. B1, be accessible, okay? Be reachable for your clients, all right? Be accessible. B2, be on time, okay? Promptness to do the deal. Promptness for your customers and clients. If you're not prompt, they're going to think you don't care. If you say you're going to be there on Tuesday, be there on Tuesday. If you're not there on Tuesday, they're going to start to think that they aren't important to you. B3, be professional, okay? That speaks volumes. Professional appearance, professional actions, professional words. Be professional. B4, be polite, okay? Never pushy. Always be polite. B5, be engaging, okay? Conference calls, follow-ups, engage with your customers. B5, be competitive, okay? Know your market, all right? You need to know your market. There's many people out there competing with you. Then that doesn't mean that, you have to do everything they do, but you need to know what they're doing, all right? You need to be aware of what's going on in the other markets, because there are people competing with you. So you need to be aware of what's going on, okay? B6, be polite, all right? The next one, B7, be attentive, always be listening. Be listening to your clients. Be listening again to what they're saying and what they're not saying. B8, be proactive, diffusing problems, okay, before they arrive, and potential opportunities. Look for the opportunities to help your client. Be creative is the next one. B9, be creative, a solution finder. Look for solutions to a problem they might have. B10, be flexible. Certain flexibility will go a long way with your clients. B11, okay, B11 is be helpful, be honest. Trust is built, dishonesty will destroy in a day, okay? So be honest, very important. And B12, be realistic, okay? Never promise something you can't produce, okay? You might be quick to promise something, but if you can't produce it, it's not going to go very far, and you can potentially lose that client. So this is the B12 boosters to help build enthusiasm and energy for your business. And I think we all need that today, especially to keep us going. So thank you guys for listening. And I wish you the best in your business. And let's come out of this COVID a winner. So great being with you guys today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Anne. Everybody that is listening online, you can see us each week at Nashville Networking Business Luncheon. We do always record these and then put them on our website as well. And so we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course our website, NashvilleNetworkingBusinessLuncheon.com. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.